crafters, thanks for joining me here in the attic. So pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, and we'll get to crafting and memory keeping. Today we're working on our week 1 of our hashtag Spooktacular 2024. This is an open collaboration that I am doing here on my YouTube channel. If you would like to join with me in creating a October daily style journal, I would love for you to use the tag hashtag Spooktacular 2024 so that I can see everyone's creations. I do have some freebies on my Ko-fi shop. This was one of the first freebies. I have started cutting it up, but it was the kickoff for our theme for our October daily, the Spooky Movie Club, where I created movie tags for the movies I'm going to be watching for the month of October and gave a few embellishments that you could use in your journal. I also have a few other freebies on there that I used in the tutorial for creating my album, and each week I will have a new freebie where I will have images that I think represent the movies I watched that week. There's also a digital kit on my Ko-fi shop if you would like to grab that and follow along with what I'm doing, or feel free to grab your own supplies and create based on the movies that you're watching. I created days of the month pumpkins that we can use in our journal to follow along, because I will not be doing my journal chronologically. I have special movies that I really love that are probably going to get more real estate in my journal than others. So I created the numbers so that I would know what days I watched the movies, since it would not be in chronological order. I do have a tutorial on my YouTube channel where I created this album that we'll be using to document our October. And this week's freebie, I have a calendar that we can use in the journal, and again, elements that I think represent the movies I watched this week. So let's clear off the desk and get to crafting. Alright, to start out my journal, I want to make a base page here that tells a little bit about what this album is going to be about. So this is where I'm going to make a collage with my calendar, my Spooky Movie Club images, that kind of thing. So I've done a little prep work and cut these out already. I think I'm going to go back though and cut out a few more of my images that are on the movie tickets page to build this out. And I'm going to ink these up and come back and put the collage together for this. I've cut out all my pieces and I've inked up all my edges, and I want to keep a kind of unified theme as far as colors throughout this whole album. So I'm trying to stick with the traditional colors of what I think Halloween are, which are the oranges, greens, and purples. So I've picked some distress colors. I'm using Twisted Citron, Carved Pumpkin, and Villainous Potion. And I've inked up this page elements with the Villainous Potion. Since I had the green in the background and the orange here, I wanted to pull in that purple. I'm going to lay out my calendar with my images to create just a little base cluster here. So this little roller date stamp. I think I might have got this at Walmart. I'm not sure. But it does have memories, the months of the year, and the year date on here. So I think I'm going to stamp that here in some black archival. I like to do a test stamp before I stamp into my projects, just in case something doesn't stamp the way I want it to. I can fix that. It looks pretty good. Alright, I like that. Alright, we've got our base page for our album set up, so I'm going to move on to my first movie. And I think I'm going to do that on the inside cover here. My first movie that I watched on the 1st was Hocus Pocus. It is one of my favorites. I created these little movie strips in Canva. I don't remember if the strip itself was a Pro Tool or if it was part of the free version of Canva. Canva does have a free version if you'd like to go over and try that out. But I just downloaded images from Google for my movies and added them to the film strip. And I'm going to use my movie tag. And what I like to do with my movie tags, instead of cutting these little corners out with scissors, I will just take a hole punch and line that up. If you can see that. And that punches those corners out without me having to be real precise with scissors. If you didn't get quite enough, you can go back and punch it again and just punch all 4 corners. Alright, I like to lay out what all I might use. Sometimes I get more things than I end up using, but I like to kind of see what my options are. I have some scrap material that I have based on the Sanderson sisters that came from a box of makeup I got several years ago. So I have that I could possibly use. I've been saving that for a while because I thought I loved the imagery on this box and I thought it would come in perfect use for a project. I just didn't know when, but this seems like the perfect time to use that. I also printed off some images from Google of the movie that were some of my favorite scenes. I found this little black cat from a craft designer. I don't remember who that was. We've got our number for the day and then our image from my freebie that I created. And I try to back these images in a way that if you are real precise in fussy cutting, it works. And then if you are a real quick fussy cutter, it still works because you've got color in there to where it doesn't have to be so precise. So I hope that helps everybody. I think what I want to do here, since this is already notched out, it makes the perfect thing for a pocket. So I think I want to measure this and create a pocket here and an insert that I can then use all of my elements that I have, because I have quite a few. Hocus Pocus is one of my favorites. So I think I want to do that. So I'm just going to get my pencil and kind of mark where I want to cut this pocket. Again, I'm not a super big measurer. Just grab my little quick cutter here instead of getting out the big one. This should work. So in an effort to make sure these videos aren't too terribly long, while I'm going through the decision process of where I'm placing everything. I'm going to add some music here and just speed this video up a little bit. At any time during our hashtag Spooktacular 2024 videos, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, you couldn't see something real well, or had questions about how I created anything, please leave it down in the comments and I will try my best to come back and answer any questions anybody has. wanted to slow it down just a little bit and explain what I'm doing here with this napkin. I'm going to collage this napkin, or parts of this napkin, onto this cardstock here that I can use as an insert in my album under this belly band that we created. So when I'm collaging with napkins, I want to get it down to one layer of the napkin. So I'll take a piece of tape and go to the back of the napkin. And some napkins are really easy to get off, others you have to work at it. This one came from Dollar Tree, so it wasn't too terribly hard to get off. I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit of playing around here just a minute to see how I want to. I think I want to cut out and just use part of this napkin here. I don't think I want to use this here, and I think I want to pull it down because what I want to do is I want to insert the picture of Jillian and Sally here somehow without taking away from this image too terribly much. I'm going to use decoupage medium to do that. You can use Mod Podge, you can use white glue, watered down a little bit, whatever works for you. So I'm going to speed the video back up and get this done. quick flip through of what I did for this week. I created my base page here to kick off the Spooky Movie Club album, putting in the calendar that was in the freebie and several of the movie elements that were from the previous freebie. And I stamped in the memories October 2024 there. Again, I am not doing things chronologically, starting here and working my way through the album, because some of my favorite movies are going to get the biggest real estate in my album. I created a pocket here with some scrap material I had. Put in my movie strip, my movie tag, and the date of the week. And used some washi tape that I tore and layered. I put one of my pictures back here with the trick or treat. This is one of my favorite movie scenes. This is one of my favorite scenes from the movie. I used another piece of that same packaging to create a little journal card. Created an insert here with the black cat like Binks, the Come We Fly that's in the freebie that's in my Ko-fi shop. Used some more torn washi tape for the edges. And then for the back, I used another movie image here, some more packaging, stamping of black cat and the spider web, and that also came from the packaging. So that is for day 1 for Hocus Pocus. Then for day 2, we had Practical Magic. So I started here and used the embellishment from the freebie for what I thought represented practical magic. Remember, these images don't have to go with just my movie. If it fits any of the movies you're doing or journal, use it in any way you want. I backed it on some black cardstock, fussy cut that out. Then I created an insert. I'm leaving plenty of journaling space on these cards or pages to come back and write in my favorite parts of the movie or what my family likes when we watch these movies, that kind of thing. I did the image of the house here. My absolute favorite part of the movie is Midnight Margaritas. If you haven't seen the movie, you don't understand that, but it is a great part of the movie. Did my day 2 pumpkin there with the Practical Magic movie tag. Did some decoupaging with some napkin, and I did this on purpose. If you want to see your image really well, if you're using black cardstock, you probably would have wanted to decoupage this on white first before you put it on here, but I wanted it just to basically be a shadow of an image. Used my movie reel here and the picture of Sally and Jilly back there in the background where they're using the spell book. And then I distress edged the edges with some Rub and Buff. And so that's day 2 for Practical Magic. Day 3, I came into the inside here. On the flip up, I started with the craft movie reel. One of my favorite scenes for the movies where they say, "We are the weirdos, mister." Come down, did my 2 movie images here. The image from the freebie that I had that went with the craft, my craft movie ticket, and day 3 pumpkin. So that's day 3, the craft. And that closes up again with the magnets. If you haven't seen how we put this album together, go back and check that out on the playlist. There is a magnet right here that keeps this closed. And day 4, for the final part this week, I did the insert here on this front page, and it is Nightmare Before Christmas. I took my movie scene and put it here, backed it with some of the decorative craft mesh back here, used the image from the freebie that I thought went with Nightmare Before Christmas, have my Nightmare Before Christmas movie ticket along with the day 4 pumpkin. And then on the back, left my journaling spot, the movie reel, Jack with his snowflake where he's discovering Christmas land, and did some torn washi here. That's day 4 for Nightmare Before Christmas. Each week I will have a video where I go through and do my pages for the movies for that week. This week was a little shorter week since October started on a Tuesday, so we didn't have as many, so we just had the first 4. My videos go up on Saturday, so next week will be a much longer week because I'll have Saturday the 5th all the way to Friday the 11th, and that video will go up on the 12th. So I hope you're enjoying this hashtag Spooktacular. I would love it if you would come over to my Facebook group. I will have the link in the description box, and use the hashtag Spooktacular 2024 and show me what you're making if you're making something along with us for this October daily. Or you can just hashtag Spooktacular 2024 in Instagram or on YouTube, and I'm going to try to keep up with what everybody's creating. So until I see you again here in the attic, y'all take care.